If you're not familiar, Strayer University is it's a for-profit university. We were founded in 1892, so we're not quite as old as IGL's parent company, but we've been around for quite a long time. We're a pioneer in online education. We first started offering online classes in the late 90s, and we've got 75 locations in 16 states right now. We're back to expanding, so we should be opening up 10 or 12 more locations sometime soon.
Wow, that's crazy. And how many students would you have?
Right now, we've got just under 50,000 students.
Good size.
And that's made up of online and on-ground students. Really, our goal at Strayer University is to make sure that any student can get a valuable education and use it to change their life. My team, the IT operations team, we're in charge of managing all of our end-user computing on-premise. So in our 75 locations, we've got about 10,000 computers, including computer labs and staff computers and faculty computers. And like I said, kind of spread over the eastern half of the United States. And when I came in about 8 years ago, we'd gone through a period of tremendous growth. We were growing at a rate of about 20% per year. But one of the things, we had grown so fast, our operations processes and teams hadn't advanced in a way to keep up with that. We were more regional prior to that. But as we moved into other markets, it was really unmanageable. We were spending a ton of money. It wasn't efficient. Took a long time to get things done. So the first thing I did as I came in was I really pushed to get a SCCM implementation so that we can manage all these machines. We worked with an IGL partner, Accelera Solutions, to help us get that off the ground, and that really changed the way we did business a lot. And that was, like I said, quite a few years ago. Since then, we've been constantly looking to innovate and make things better, make things easier to manage, better for the end user, be able to be more responsive to our end users and our staff and our faculty and the students. So 4 years ago, we decided that even though we had pretty good processes in place for managing all these machines, we really wanted to move forward. We really wanted to be innovative. We were running into a situation where our hardware at all these campuses was starting to get old, and I kind of questioned whether that was the right direction to go. Was it really the right thing to be replacing $1,000 pieces of hardware every 3 or 4 years, and for me to have to prove ROI on buying new endpoint hardware, where really people were doing business applications and that sort of thing. Not really heavy users, not gamers like the people who I was building machines for in my 20s. And I was really questioning whether that value was worth the ROI. And our CFO really pressed us to extend the lifespan of our existing desktop PCs. And I kind of came up with this idea that maybe we should be thinking differently and look at VDI and look at a different way of delivering it. And do we want to be in the hardware business? We're a university. Do we want to be in the computer support business? And we didn't, right? We want to be teaching people and helping them do that, and we want to keep things up and running. And so the idea of having servers that we can manage locally and thin clients at the endpoint that we didn't have to touch, that we could count on there not being any moving parts, that had a much lower failure rate, was really attractive. And so we ran a couple pilots. The first one being the idea that we could use Universal Desktop Converter. And so we did that pilot. It was successful. It worked well. People's machines were much faster. And selfishly, they were more reliable. When we first started rolling out IGL solutions, whether it was using UDCs in our first 2 campuses or using UD3s in one of our call centers for a brand new chat team, we had a hardware failure rate of pretty close to 0%. The UD3s we've had there now for about 2 years, we've never had a problem with any of our UD3s since we rolled them out, which is amazing because we're constantly sending people to repair desktops at a significant cost. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars a month to send people to remote locations, and that essentially got cut back to 0. And we wouldn't be doing VDI if it wasn't for IGEL. And the reason I say that is because the IGEL management software has allowed us to deliver an experience to the end user that's seamless and reliable, but in a way that the end user doesn't know that there's VDI behind it. We worked initially with Jeff Kalberg, and in literally 30 minutes, he had us up and running in an environment that was customized with our branding on it and stripped down in a way that was secure and easy to manage We could push out changes if we needed to, or do troubleshooting if an issue came up with the network, which it did, and iGel saved us on that. And ultimately, just the end user experience has been fantastic with the reliability and with the remote access and all that sort of thing. And it's been revenue generating as well. My projections are that we're going to be able to extend our refresh cycle in a reliable way out to about 7 or 8 years, whereas we would be replacing at 4 or 5. And I think we're going to realize probably about 50% savings over a span of about 8 years.